Bye.
Should have started.
Hey, did you get that? Did you get
Yeah.
should have
Yep,
started.
hey, I'm leaving that in the video, bro. I'm leaving that
Yeah, well, I know I need to send you. Hey, where's my camera? Hey, Pete, yep. Hey, Pete. As soon as we said that, he said put me on game.
Ayo. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Hold on. Welcome to the first episode of 2025 of Gumball Sports Machine. Hey, I'm teed up today. I'm teed up today, man. I'm super excited to be back for 2025. And, we only getting better. And there's a reason why I say we. Because I'm not here dolo. I'm not here by myself. I got my guy. I got my brother. I got my co-host. I got Tone. Tone, what's the what? See, there you go. See,
Hey, everyone.
see there you go.
Hey, cheers to the new year.
Yeah, nah, we was talking before the show. You went and got it. You said you was gonna get water. You had a different cup. Where'd the other cup go? Bring the other cup back.
What? Oh, hold on. I got this for you though. What's that say?
See, there you go. See that?
I told you I was gonna bring this back. I brought my guy.
See,
Tall bottle too, man. From that good old Boston M. You gotta swing that down to the Phoenix Arena. Maybe plus a U-bone stop by the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I don't think that's gonna help either one of them teams right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals have exited the building. They starting that summertime. And the Suns, even though they won, did they win last night?
They did win last night.
Yeah.
They did win last night. They played well, man. They played well.
Yeah, they fought.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it for sure. But as always, welcome back to Gumball Sports Machine, where we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, each and every day, we are grateful and we are positive. Welcome back to the show. We are so glad to be back for 2025 and better than ever. Like I said, I got my guy with me. I got my co-host Tone in the building, and we're gonna be here all year because big and better things are coming. I promise you. Be on the lookout. I promise you. We gonna keep it pushing. But first and foremost, I do want to make sure everybody had a great holiday, Christmas, New Year. Happy, Merry Christmas to everybody. If you celebrate, Happy New Year. I hope it was safe. Hope you were, you're all right. Hope, everything. Help you spend time with family, your loved ones, people who you love and appreciate, and love and appreciate you. I know I did. It was a great New Year's, great holiday. Spent a lot of time with my family. Brother was in town. Grandma came in town. Grandmas, came in town. Bunch of family came in town, man. So definitely enjoyed being with them. But I'm ready to lock in, get back to work. But Tone, let me ask you, man, how's the holidays? I know you was in Beantown for the holidays, back at the crib. How was the holidays with the fam? New Year.
It was lovely, man. It was a little chillier than it is out here. We got there. It was probably I think it was like 17 degrees or something like that. So yeah, it was kind of burr. The trip took a little longer than it should have. Got stuck in New York for a little bit, but it was fabulous, man. Always good to see family that you haven't seen in months, if not years. My son, we went to the Celtics game, Celtics Rappers, little way to wrap up. Way to wrap up the year, you know what I'm saying?
Winning by 50, I'm sorry, I'm not to interrupt. Winning by 50 plus is nasty work. On the game that you go to is crazy work.
Yeah, I was excited to see that. That was cool, especially because my guys didn't even have to play that much in the fourth. You know what I'm saying? Got to see my man Jordan Walsh get a couple buckets out there. But yeah, hold on. One thing though, to my Celtics promotion team. Man, y'all, I walked in. Y'all asked my son if he wanted to do the dunk contest with the kids. And then we went down there to the little stairwell that y'all told us to go to at a certain time. We were there for 10, 15 minutes. Then we couldn't find the right people. Security couldn't find the right people. Man, y'all messed that up, man. My son was excited. He traveled all the way from Phoenix to Boston, his very first game. He got the pin. He got all of that. We got the banner. You know what I'm saying? We even brought something back for more. You know what I'm saying? We got him a new coloring book.
Ain't nobody gonna do nothing with that.
Get that. We brought some Boston Air back for them. We did all of that. All my son wanted to do was a little dunk contest. He had 3 kids. They did all right, but I'm gonna tell you, Hendrix would have you'd get a little. He probably would have did the D Brown for y'all. Crowd would have went crazy to get the momentum early. I mean, we didn't really need it because it was 52. But dang, man, we come back, man. Just reach out to us. Hendrix won the dunk contest.
Yeah, come on. Hey, first of all, I'm glad you said D Brown and not J Brown because J Brown didn't do right.
Yeah, he kind of messed that up.
As long as we're on the same page, about that.
Hey, I try my best not to be biased, man.
All right, hey, let's get to the stuff because it's been a few weeks. You know, we celebrated the holidays with the fam, took a little time off. It's been a little while. We got a lot to talk about, Tone, and as always, we start the show off with the biggest story, the biggest happenings of whatever we got going on. That segment is called Something That You Want.
What do I want to see happen? I want to see me get my joy back from playing basketball. And wherever that may be, we'll find out here pretty soon. But I want to get my joy back. I'm happy here, off the court. But I want to be back to somewhat dominant. I want to hoop. And I want to help this team win. Right now, I'm not doing that.
Can you get your joy back here on the court?
Probably not.
Jimmy Butler has all but confirmed he wants out of Miami. Tone, you know what? I got to give you credit because you've been mentioning this since before the season even started. So, but like I said, he is all but confirmed and stood on top of the mountaintops saying that he wants out of Miami. Now that he has suspended him for 7 games for saying all this stuff and doing all this. Tone, what is your first reaction to Jimmy Butler and to Jimmy Butler saying this? And not only that, but where should he go?
Honestly, I think this says more about Pat Riley than it says about anybody else. Pat has ran a couple guys out of the building. Jimmy's one of those, tough, hard-nosed type of guys gonna bite the bullet to perform on the court. Yeah, he'll fake I shouldn't say fake an injury. He'll fight through an injury to ball on the court. I'd assume just thinking about the player that he's proven to be, that certain words wouldn't hinder his play. It's obvious that Pat Riley has rubbed this guy the wrong way. I don't understand what Pat's got up his sleeve. They haven't had much success since LeBron. Jimmy's honestly been their brightest star. To run him out of the building, I just don't understand what Pat's doing and who he thinks they're going to get to come in that's going to change the narrative in Miami right now. When you think about Heat culture, it kind of is, it was once Wade culture, and then it was Braun culture, and now it's Jimmy culture. It's not Pat Riley culture, but whatever. And where should Jimmy go? That's a great question. I think Phoenix is a place that he can go. I just don't know if that changes them to a championship caliber team because I'm not sure what they would have to lose. I think the team that has the most pieces that gets better is likely Oklahoma. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they want to mess up their continuity. The only other team I could probably see is benefiting is the Warriors, maybe. I don't really like Houston. I feel like they're too young and won't be able to understand Jimmy Butler's mentality. So I would say the Warriors, and again, I'm not sure what they would have to give up. They're already kind of old. To get even older, it's tough. But I mean, maybe you just want to put all the chips in and go for it.
Yeah, listen. So I heard this, and I kind of had the same thoughts as you, Tone. Like, Pat Riley has continued to drive people out of Miami. That's the biggest part. He's continued to drive people out of Miami. And for whatever reason, refuses to go out and get a star to help Jimmy Butler. Now, you have Tyler Hero, who's played really well this year. You have Bam Adebayo, who's played really well this year. You traded for Terry Rozier last year. That's not going to make you a championship team in the East because that team is not going to beat Boston. That team is not going to beat Milwaukee. That team is not going to beat Cleveland. That team is not going to beat New York. Like this, like you have to trade for a star. And let's not pretend like Jimmy Butler is not getting old. Jimmy Butler is 35 years old with the injury-prone history. Like this guy doesn't have much more time left in the NBA. Now he's telling people he wants a 3-year, $100 million deal, stuff like that. I don't know how realistic that's gonna happen to whichever team he may go to because it doesn't look like he's gonna be playing another game in a Miami Heat uniform. But you got to give this guy a chance to win. And in terms of where he should go, listen, we're gonna talk about this more, here in a little bit in the show. The Suns, yes, everybody's talking about the Suns. And now, Brian Windhorst did report yesterday the Suns have been the most aggressive team going after Jimmy Butler so far. The Suns have bigger problems. I don't think they should go get Jimmy Butler because they have bigger problems. Even if they were to go get Jimmy Butler, that doesn't fix the problems that they already have in terms of playing hard, in terms of just running the offense. I mean, yes, they've shown moments in which their offense is good. But even last night, they scored 109 points. 110 points, and the game started off like 14-3 in favor of Philadelphia. But that's the game we'll talk about here in a little bit. But the Suns have bigger problems than just trading for another star because all you do is trade one star for another. Now, yes, Jimmy Butler may be a better player than Bradley Beal. I'm not debating that. But the Suns have bigger problems behind closed doors. They need continuity. They need chemistry. They need to stay healthy. And so you're just trading one injury-prone star for another. And so in that case, like, I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why the Suns would go after Jimmy Butler, and I understand why they're going after Jimmy Butler as hard as they are, because he's a great player. But like I said, he's injury prone. He's been hurt in the last 2 playoffs. And if he's going to cause damage to your franchise like this, to your organization like this, I don't know. I really honestly don't know how much I kind of want him. Like, I don't. And to say that is like Jimmy, like I said, Jimmy Butler plays hard. Whenever he is on the court, he plays hard. And he's a shot maker. But you also got to realize the Suns have bigger problems. And so in terms of where I think he should go, I mean, there's a few places that I know Memphis has been kind of aggressive in getting Jimmy Butler. I think that was like the only other team that was like really, really going after him. But for the Suns right now, I think they have bigger problems than just trading for Jimmy Butler. Like that's just going to fix everything.
Yeah, I do think that there is a slight stain on Jimmy's name because he's known as a leader. This is not leadership.
No, it's not. And this is not the example that you want to set, not only for yourself or not only for your team, but for yourself. Because now if you're really looking to get traded, this is the example you're setting of this is the type of guy you're getting. If he's not happy, he's going to go out and expose everybody for it. He's going to let everybody know that he's not happy. And so now is that really a guy you want on your team? Now, again, I understand the capable basketball player that he is. I understand how good he is. I understand how good he has been. But at the same time, great basketball teams have chemistry. Great basketball teams stay healthy. If Jimmy Butler were to come here, the Suns would have to rebuild an entirely new chemistry with Jimmy Butler. Because, yes, I understand, people saying he doesn't need the ball to be effective. He doesn't need the ball to do this. I understand that. But you still have to have chemistry in order to go win a basketball. You look at teams like the Celtics. They love playing with each other. They've played with each other for obviously Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been together since 2018. These guys, they know how to play with each other and they know how to play alongside with each other. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing with Jimmy Butler. He can make some big shots and he can make some big plays. But again, how many plays can he make? And how many minutes can he stay on the floor? How many games can he stay on the floor? Because, like I said, this past playoffs he missed. He was hurt for the last playoffs in 2023. I mean, so will he be able to stay healthy? He's an aging superstar. He's 35 and he's already injury prone. And so how bad do you really how much of an impact can he really make on your basketball team?
You know what else is like the real question? What the hell is going on with his hair?
Listen.
Like what's going on with his hair?
Now the first time he did it, it was orange. Then it went to purple. And now his latest one has been pink. I don't know what his goal is. I don't know if it's just to have fun or I don't know if it's just to, do whatever he wants to do with it. But I don't know if he's trying to send a message or not.
You think he's being an asshole because like Miami and he knows that Pat Riley probably hates it?
I think so. I think there's a good possibility. I definitely think there's a good possibility that he's doing that because Jimmy Butler is petty. Despite what anybody wants to tell you, Jimmy Butler is petty because he did the same thing in Minnesota. Right? I don't know if you remember. So I don't know if you remember this. Actually, Jeff Teague told this story. When Jimmy Butler was in Minnesota, I think who was coaching there at the time? I think Tom Thibodeau was coaching there at the time. But he told Coach, he's like, our coach had told us something. He's like, okay, bet. Let me run with the twos then. He said, let me run with the twos. Ran with the twos, killed the ones, gave him buckets. But just wanted to show that he can run with the twos and still give him buckets. That's petty. That's petty number one. That's petty number one. It's everybody knows the clip. Everybody knows the clip. If you are a basketball fan, you know the clip of Jimmy Butler walking back after he beat Philly, saying Tobias Harris over me. You know that clip. Tobias Harris over me. Jimmy Butler is a petty person. This is not the first time he's done something like this. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Tobias Harris. He's like extended family.
Oh, see that you know everybody.
My grandmother's sister cousin raised his father.
Oh wow!
I met his father.
See, there you go. You just know everybody.
No, I don't know everybody.
Yeah. See, you know what? That's all right. I know you know some people that you probably should know.
Yep. I'll give you that.
See, I was talking about somebody named that starts with a D.
Hey, yo.
My fault. I wasn't trying to expose you like that. My bad.
That's crazy.
That's on me. Nah. His name ends in Y. I'm talking about the guy you know. Starts with D, ends in Y. I'm just saying, like I said, I'm my fault. I'm doing a little exposing. Hold on, my fault, Tom.
Shout out to the new wristbands too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, what's that?
You got to be in the garden to get one of these.
Yeah, see where we live. That's all right. Hey, I got some new wristbands too. Hold on. Shout out to the town.
What those say?
These are Kenya wristbands.
Oh, the real town.
Yeah.
About here.
Nah.
What that say? Early out?
Huh? I
was gonna ask what it says. Early out.
No, see there you go. See there you go. That's all right. That's okay. Hey, because do not let the Suns make a run this year. Do not let the Suns make a run.
We got to go back to like the first or second episode that I was on because you gave me all of these early predictions for your teams, and I was telling you about how excited you guys always are early in the season when it comes to the and the emotions are flip flop. So take your time. Suavemente, besame.
He went and took some vocal lessons over there in Beantown, or what?
Yeah, that's that old. You don't know about that. That's that old school. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I know that. I know about that one. I just, I'm gonna let the person who sang it sing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, nah. Sunday mornings. Even though I believe it's a Mexican song, my stepmother's Puerto Rican. Sunday mornings, you got that Sunday morning cleanup. Stuff, music like that will wake you up. So you start smelling that sausage, toast, and eggs, and then you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, time to get up out this bed. So
see, here's the thing with that. As soon as I hear that, I said, okay, oh, you know what? I smell breakfast, right? So it's time to get up out of bed. But here's the problem. Or here's the thing with me. I think ahead, right? I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking proactively. Okay, so I'm laying in bed, right? If I I start to smell the sausage, the eggs, the bacon. So if I got out of bed, damn, you know what? That sounds good. Come after that? A whole day of cleaning. I'm staying my ass right in the bed. I'm not getting out the bed. You can clean. I'm sleeping.
That's the fuel. I need that.
I'm not cleaning nothing. I'm staying in the bed and watching football. It's Sunday. I'm not because I know what happens after the breakfast, and I'm not going. The breakfast ain't worth all the cleaning.
You're gonna find you a special woman, boy.
Hey, no.
No, it's crazy.
No, because I'm telling you, I'm thinking proactively, Tom. I know what's coming after that breakfast. It's breakfast. Okay, finish your breakfast. Go get this mop.
Saturday, you want to be proactive, clean on Friday and Saturday, man. I need that Sunday breakfast. Different.
You know what? You're right. But that's a good point. But Saturday, I had games, and Friday I had practice in school. On Sunday I ain't got nothing. Sunday my only off day, Tone. I'm gonna get up and eat breakfast and then clean all day. What up, ho? Like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm staying in the bed. I'm not getting out of bed.
I take it.
Oh, hey man. I'll tell you what. So Tone, let's react to some of the NBA stuff that happened over the holidays, over the break while we was gone. You know what? Let's start with your team, man. You Boston, they've looked good. Obviously, they're Boston. They're gonna look good.
We look bad the past couple of weeks. What do you mean?
I see. Well, okay. I'm comparing your team to something that I've been watching every day. So compared to my team, y'all look good. That's so you know what I'm saying. But I will say, I did watch the game Sunday against OKC. Tone, OKC ain't no joke.
They're not.
OKC ain't no joke.
Shea is the one. I've been telling you. I told you he's better than Luka. You gave me big argument. Shea is him. I've been saying this for almost 3 years now. Shea is him. He can make other teams' best defenders look like regular defenders. His skill set is hard to defend. He's playing ball at his own pace. His footwork is crazy. He can shoot from anywhere. He's tough, and he can finish at the basket. Left hand, right hand. His skill set is crazy. And then he defends. Like he's that team has defenders at the 1 through 5. They are tough. The first 2 quarters, they almost looked like a completely different team than they did in the third and fourth quarter. And I think that they kind of stunned us a little bit. We didn't expect them to jump out like that. I will say Derek White, Drew Holiday, and pretty much everybody except for Jason Tatum kind of played bad. Jason Tatum and Peyton Pritchard. And Jason Tatum could have played better as well. So but shout out to the OKC, the Thunder. They played a great game. I can't wait to see the 7-game series. As I predicted, that would be the finals. I still got that as the finals. OKC is very scary. They will get a little more scary when they get Chet back and J-Dub. That was what hurt me is I'm looking at us and I said, dang, we didn't really play top tier Celtic basketball. But then I looked at OKC and I said, oh, they don't got J-Dub and Chet there either. So I don't know. This could be tough. But great game. It's a great game.
It was a great game. It was fun to watch. And obviously Sunday, NFL's going on. So I had the NFL on the big TV. I had to put the Celtics game on the mini screen. But but no, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about OKC, man. OKC, that's a team that loves each other. That's a basketball team that loves to play with each other. You can see it on the court. You can see it with the joy in which they play the game of basketball. You have SGA, you have J-Dub, you have, Chet is still hurt, but Isaiah Hartenstein is playing at a really high level right now. You have Caruso. Like, you have these guys who love playing with each other, and they fit into each other's roles. They play their role. They don't go outside of their role. Alex Caruso is not going to give you 30, but I'll tell you what, he's going to sit down and guard your best perimeter player. You know what I'm saying? Like, Isaiah Hartenstein is not going to want to hit the ball back to the basket. He's not going to go, try and post you up, hit this post fade and everything. He's going to block shots like he did, and he's going to catch lobs, and he's going to rebound the basketball because he plays his role. And he did it last year with the Knicks, and he's doing the same thing since he's been healthy this year with OKC. That team plays his role, and they love playing with each other. Like, that's I think that's the biggest thing to me. That's the biggest thing to me, and that's one of the biggest pieces you need to have in order to go win a championship is the chemistry, and the chemistry in which everybody plays their role. Like I said, this starting lineup, Lou Dort hit some humongous shots on Sunday. He hit 2 huge back-to-back threes that really put the game away for OKC. Like, these guys, they don't have a bunch of guys who's going to go score 30. They have one. They have one guy and a couple guys who can. J-Dub can go do it, and then Che can go do it when he's healthy. But even when they're healthy, they're not going to do it every night like SGA does. So they really only have one guy that's going to go and get you 30, 35, whatever it may be. But all these other guys put everything else into the bowl, right? I'm sure you've seen these TikToks, right, where the dude's got a bowl of water, right? Dude's got a bowl of water, and he's pouring water into, and he's got an NBA player's name on the bowl, and he's pouring water, athleticism and shooting and all this stuff. When you put the bowl in OKC, when you put Oklahoma City's bowl here, and then everything's even. They got a superstar. Pour some water in there. They got shooting. Pour some water in there. They got defense. Pour 2 waters in there. They got chemistry. Pour 8 waters in there. That's the recipe for a successful basketball team, and they've showed you all throughout this year and definitely last year. And so now, do I think they're going to be able to advance to the finals? I don't know. Because it showed the lack of star power they had last year. It brought, it really showed its thumb last year. And so when you go up against teams like the Mavericks, and when you go up against teams like the Lakers, because I think they look much better this year. When you go up against teams like the Clippers, because James Harden has kind of turned back the clock, and Kawhi just came back. When you go up against teams that have these multiple superstars multiple guys that can go and get you 35, 40. And speaking of Clippers, Norman Powell has looked fantastic this year. He's averaging 25. And so when you go up against teams who have guys like that, you have to be able to match the super powers. Realistically, if you're not able to match that, it's not gonna turn out very well for OKC. But I'll tell you what, they do look good. And if there was a definition of a team that I'm afraid of, OKC would pop up right there.
No, I agree. They do. They may have an issue with star power come to the playoffs, but I feel like their group of others is their star. I don't know how to really word define that, to make some understand. But they might not have a certain individual who's capable of scoring 30, but I feel like the team that they have composed on offense and defense is strong enough to withstand another superstar. They got depth, like you said, that continuity that they have over there. It's interesting to see with that much youth. And yeah, I mean Shea and Caruso are like they're vets, and that's amazing for those 2 dudes who are that young to be their veterans, to have that level of continuity. I know you seen the other night where Shea was pushing on one of the other players because he grabbed a rebound, where Shea was that close to a triple-double. You know what I'm saying? Something petty, but I feel like they have that much continuity to where they're bros. They went back in the locker room, chopped it up, and they moved right on. Yeah, they're going to be tough in the playoffs, man, especially if they're healthy.
So let me ask you this. Right now, as of January 7th, on this beautiful Tuesday morning, Who's the best team in the NBA?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay. I think I'd say the same thing.
Yeah, they don't even have. I think personally, I'm big on Chet. Like a lot of people, they might like Chet. I really think Chet's a problem. Like I think Chet is going to average. If he's healthy, he's going to average 23 and 10 and 3 blocks for the next 6-7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm that big. I'm that big on Chet, and he's not playing. They literally, I think, lost 2 games since he's been out. That's insane.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And we're almost we're a month away from All-Star.
And I'll tell you what, I think a lot of that credit needs to go to Mark Dagnall, their head coach. He has done a phenomenal job with this basketball team.
He has. Shea is a problem.
He absolutely is. And you talk about, now again, I'm not taking a shot at your boys, but you talk about elite defenders and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Derek White and Drew Holiday, and he had 35 on him or 33 or whatever he had. I mean, you talk about just turning elite defenders into average guys, average defenders. That's what makes a great basketball player. And he did exactly that on Sunday.
And the beautiful thing about Shea is when you, and maybe I'm a little biased here, but when I watch him play, he doesn't get angry or stressed out like when I watch Luka.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's really having fun and enjoying the game, and it looks like you can't stop him. He's probably like I think on the cast before we took our break, I was talking about how Giannis is unstoppable. Giannis is unstoppable, but so is Shea. Shea moving at his own speed, capable of shooting wherever, the handles that he has, and I think that mental toughness that he's exhibiting, and then health. Like he's one of those players who, shoot, I don't know if I've seen a player like him besides Tatum, like who just doesn't miss games like that. There's very few dudes who play in 60, 70 games every season.
Yeah, no, he's obviously he's playing 77, 78 games a year. Like he's not this guy that wants to take off for load management. Like he's playing a lot of games a year. And I think, my preseason pick to win MVP was Luka. But obviously he's missed a ton of games this year. He's gonna miss a bunch more with this calf strain. And he had already missed a few more before that with another injury. But at this very point in time, I don't know how you say it's anybody else other than SGA that's the MVP right now.
Yeah. He's beating everybody. He's number 2 in scoring or number 1 now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's number 1. I think him and Giannis are kind of, flipping back and forth, but I'm pretty sure he's number 1.
Team number 1 in the league without his number 2. Some people say J-Dub is the number 2, but I'm like, Chet still, I think, averages more points, right? Or no, is it the other way around? And Chet just averages all the rebounds and stuff.
I think Chet might average more points. I think you might be right about that. I think you might be right.
J-Dub averages 20, and Chet averages 16, but everything else, Chet's higher.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man.
It definitely is.
And who you got? You say you got OKC too?
I got OKC, and I believe OKC has Cleveland tonight. I can double check that right now, but I believe they have, because I know they had Boston and Cleveland back to back. I'm pretty sure that's what the case was.
Tonight, those are statement games for them.
Oh yeah. No, they got Cleveland tomorrow. And that's a nationally televised game. That's on ESPN. So I will be watching that game for sure. OKC, that team is just so well coached. They're so disciplined. Like that team is so structured in order for them to go win basketball games. And here's the thing. They have every single one of their draft picks and some. Because what they've been able to do over there, that with that organization, I think that's the best run organization. That I mean, it's between them and Boston, but I think those are the two best run organizations in the entire NBA.
I'll give it. Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. That's really all. Like the biggest point I want to make is because those are organizations that will win you a championship. Those are organizations that will win you a champion. Now, yes, like sometimes you want to go out and get superstars. And so for the teams who do that, I don't blame them. Like my team, you go out and get KD, you go out and get Bradley Beal. But before that, when we had our core, we had Booker, we had Ayton, we had Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. Like we had guys that grew up, that grew up here. We drafted them and they grew up here. That was a fun team to watch, and that was a fun team that played alongside each other and loved playing with each other. And I just don't see that with my team right now. I just don't. I don't see the energy. I don't see the effort. I don't see the enjoyment of playing basketball. And so, but when you see teams like OKC and Boston and even Cleveland now, like that's the way basketball should be played.
It's crazy because I just seen somebody post, I think it was yesterday, say it's going to be crazy when Cam Johnson's doing this for OKC. I was like, yeah, I don't understand why Phoenix let him go. Like he's a 3-and-D player. He can play make. He can score the ball off the dribble. And he's not a talker. You know what I'm saying? When you need one of those guys who's just gonna play his role, and he can't. That dude is a problem. And he's one of those dudes who can quietly go for 40.
He absolutely can. He is. I still believe he's one of the best shooters in the NBA. He is one of the best shooters in the NBA.
You put OKC?
That's dangerous, Tone. That's dangerous.
They have so many pieces that they can let go and still be valuable. Like I personally would say that they're better off going after Cam than they are after Jimmy Butler.
I agree. I think you're gonna have to give up. I don't think you're gonna have to give up a lot for Jimmy Butler, but I think you'd still be giving up too much for him. As for a guy that's not going to be there for more than 2 years and going to be in and out of the lineup, I think Cam Johnson would be a better fit. And Cam Johnson was just a part of that KD trade. Like he was. I mean, as much as because what James Jones wanted to do was he wanted to trade for KD, but he did not want to give up both twins, and twins being Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. But Matt Ishbia came in and he said, yeah, if we have a chance to go get Kevin Durant is going to become a Phoenix Sun. And since then, I mean, obviously, we give up our four first round picks. We gave up the twins, Jay Crowder, like that's so yeah, it like, hindsight being 2020. I mean, now I still kind of go back and forth on whether I would have done it, because at the end of the day, that is Kevin Durant. And based on the year he had last year, he was amazing last year. And he played 75 games and averaged 27 points. Like, he was amazing last year, but that didn't really get us to where we wanted to go.
Yes, that's what my question would be is, do you think that that's going to be enough to get you a champion? Because I feel like the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Sun fan base have almost reached a point where we're not happy with just a playoff run. Yeah. It's got to be Western Conference Championship to the championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, Western Conference Championship is the least. That's the least we want. You know what I'm saying, out here in Phoenix, because we've been there before. We watched Devin Booker, then they get one. So if you add something like whoever, we should be able to get one. And you get KD and you still head scratching. I'm like, well then don't. I personally, I'd be like, well then don't do it. And that's why when they started talking about breaking up JB and JT, and they were talking about JB for KD, I was like, I don't think Kevin Durant gets us any further than where JB's going to get us. So don't do that. Don't do that.
Especially based on what you'd have to give up for him. Mm-hmm. You'd be losing a lot of pieces. And so will KD make up for those pieces?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like I said, I think that's the biggest thing right now. I think everything that we gave up for him, and he's not exactly making up for everything we gave up for him. I think I'll put it that way. He's not exactly making up for everything we gave up for him. So, you know what? Let's dive deeper into the Suns, man. The Suns, they've been struggling recently. They're now 2 games under 500. They're coming off a 4-game losing streak. Last night they go into Philly and beat Philly. They played well. Paul George and Tyrese Maxey did both play. Obviously, Philly has not looked good this year, so it's not exactly a statement win for the Suns, but to go into Philly and beat Philly with 2 out of their big 3, I'll take it, because at this point, I'll take any win. They have Charlotte tonight off of back-to-back. It's still Charlotte. It's still the Charlotte Hornets. So again, I just hope we can get right. But Tone, what have you seen from the Suns lately? And what do you think their biggest problem is over the past few weeks, and the reason why they've been struggling so much?
It's likely continuity due to health. Several guys in and out of the lineup, and we don't realize how much continuity affects the gameplay. You strategize for how you're gonna to play the first through fourth, and you can't do it when somebody's not out there. Then when you got them back in the lineup, you got to re-strategize how you're going to play the next game. It's going to be tough for them. I think that health is. When I seen this lineup, to me, I remember you and I having this conversation. I didn't see depth, and so for me, that meant that those guys are going to have to play a lot more time. Now, excuse me, that works if it's 3 guys that are known for consistently playing 70 games, because you're going to need those guys to play 38 minutes, average 25 plus damn near, because when you look at the scope of that team, there's not a lot of scorers on that team. In order for you guys to win at this high scoring rate of a league right now, they're going to have to play a lot of minutes and produce. I didn't trust that when I seen this lineup. You told me that, Tyus Jones was going to be a relief. Morris was going to be a relief. Some of the rookies were going to be a relief. And even I actually think that you were right in some instances, because I've watched some of the games and I go, oh, they are helping out. I just haven't seen Devin Booker take, again, and it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse at this moment in time, but I haven't seen him take that next step. Maybe it is due to health. Maybe he just hasn't had a healthy season to where he hasn't been comfortable enough to take whatever leap he was going on. Bradley Beal, I definitely thought they should have got rid of him last year. I don't think it works. And then I think the same thing for Kevin Durant. I don't know why he's not shooting the basketball more in certain games. I think I told you this before, that he needs to be the leading scorer on the Suns team for them to have a fantastic year.
Yeah.
But for me, just I wouldn't even care if they were losing if Devin Booker was scoring 31 points a game. Like to me, I'm like, just do it, D-Book. Like, show the world that you're capable of a scorer like the old KD, like a James Harden, like a Kobe Bean. Just go out there and score 32 points a game. Fuck it. I don't care if you guys lose. Just do something, man.
I'm with you along with that point, man. Because I'll tell you what. I think the biggest thing with me is, and you made a good point about Devin Booker. I'm gonna get to that here in a second. The biggest thing to me is just effort. I mean, effort is the biggest thing. I mean, it's the small things like this. Obviously, this team can go score points, which they're gonna have to do more of, because what they've been doing over the past few weeks in terms of scoring the basketball is just not good enough. It's just not, and so they're gonna have to do a better job of that. But in terms of the little things, and even, I've coached youth basketball. Like, I've coached 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds in basketball. It's the little things. And I tell them the same thing. It's the same. And the NBA is obviously 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 levels above them. But it's the little things in every single part of basketball. It's effort, right? It's diving. Who's first to the floor? First to the floor. Who's going to be the first to the floor if it's a loose ball? Boxing out. Boxing out takes effort. I don't give a damn how big or small you are. Boxing out takes effort. Like I said, diving on the ball diving on the ground for the ball takes effort. It's small things, setting screens, Setting proper screens, not just screens that, the defender's going to brush by. No, set a screen, get set the screen, make sure they don't get around you legally. Like, it's small things. It's the little things that helps basketball teams become so successful. The Suns have zero of that right now. Zero. The game last night, it was the most effort I've seen out of the Suns since Christmas Day. People, it is January 7th. It is January 7th. The last effort that I saw that was like this, that I saw last night against Philly, was Christmas Day against Denver. That should not be happening. That is not a championship team. If you are a championship team, you are giving me 100% effort on every single night. Every single night. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. My brother was in town. I took him to his first ever NBA game. We were playing the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were down 9 players. Let me state that again. The Grizzlies were down 9 players. 3 of those players happened to be big impact players. John Morant, Zach Edey, Marcus Smart. They went out and lost that game. Not only did they lose the game, they never had a lead in that game. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant all played. Yes, Bradley Beal did get hurt in the first quarter. But Kevin Durant and Devin Booker played that entire game. They went out and lost to a Memphis Grizzlies team that had 9 players missing. When should that ever happen? To a championship team or a championship team. 9 players that go out and lose that game. A pathetic effort. Pathetic effort. They go into Indiana the other night. Same thing. Now, they weren't down as many players, but the effort level was atrocious. Atrocious. It's all one. My dad told me growing up. He told me, I can tell you almost every time, and he told me almost every week that I've ever lived on this earth. Only thing he said to me, he asked me this question all the time. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? And that's what I want to ask the Suns right now. How bad do you want it? Because if you're asking me, someone who's watched every Suns game this year and really dives deep into analyzing this basketball team, they don't want it. They don't want it. That's what you've showed me. That's what I've seen. On a consistent basis, you're telling me that you don't want to go win a championship. Or you can tell me with your words all you want to. You can tell me with your words all you want to. But it's cliche, but it means just as much right now when I'm about to say it. Actions speak louder than words. And the Phoenix Suns' actions right now on the basketball court on a consistent basis are telling me that you don't want to win a championship. That's what I'm seeing right now. And it's pathetic. You have 3 of the best scorers in the league. And you're giving me 100% effort every 4th night. You're getting paid $50 million and $40 million and $20 million to go play a game. A game. Yes, I understand you're traveling and you're on the road and you're away from your families. You knew that was in the contract. Let's not pretend like you should be surprised because you're on the road and you're away from your families as much as you are. You know that's in the job. You need to be given 100% every single night you step on a basketball court. There's no reason any other scenario should happen. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, the effort that the Suns show. It is absolutely atrocious. Now, Tone, to your point about Devin Booker. Devin Booker, here's the thing. He struggled mightily last night. He facilitated the ball and he helped in other ways. He couldn't score. He couldn't hit the ocean from a boat. But he affected the game in other ways last night. He played good defense last night. He had 10 assists last night. He had a double-double. So he affected the game in other ways. That is called effort. He does not show that every single night. Because as soon as they get down, everybody's heads can start to get down. That's not what a team does. That's not what a championship team does. Again, I put air quotes on that because this is what's supposed to be a championship team. When something goes wrong, you get back up. When you get hit, you get back up. Not when you get hit, you start blaming everybody else. When you get hit, you get back up. And guess what? When your teammate gets hit, you help your teammate up. That's what a successful basketball team does. And it's pathetic what the Suns are showing on a consistent basis.
Devin Booker's only averaging 24.
He's not playing well whatsoever. I mean, it's just I don't understand. So I'm like, I wish I could. There's something I could just pinpoint, but it's so many things. It's I mentioned it. It's little things.
Well, I don't think Royce O'Neal. When you think of grit and grind players, like every championship caliber team has to have one of those players. James Posey, the Leon Poe, Tony Allen's, the Draymond Green, the Iguodala's, the Haslam. Every team has one of those who ends up being that type. You know what I'm saying? I can't find that player for you guys. That player who certain things excite this player that have nothing to do with actually having the basketball in their hand. You know what I'm saying? Through the course of the basketball game, they're looking to get a block, a steal, beat somebody to the basketball, just a physical bump when somebody's like, there's certain other things that you're kind of that type of player in certain aspects. You should understand like the player that you guys need. And I feel like you had a Jay Crowder, you had Cam Johnson, you had Mikal Bridges, you guys had some of these players, and I'm like, Royce O'Neal, is that for you guys? Besides that, it's the young guys.
Yep.
But the young guys haven't gone through it in life. You need experience to understand what you're capable of. Royce O'Neal is it for me. And I don't know if Royce O'Neal is good enough to be that representative on a championship caliber team, honestly. And I like Royce O'Neal. I've told you a bunch of times throughout this season, I'm like, I don't know why Roy's not in the game. I'm like, this doesn't even make any sense why he's not in the game. And then the way that you guys use certain again, Bobo has not seen the floor. Why'd you keep him if he's not seeing the floor? It's like a skeptical. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're just keeping him around. Like, I don't want to talk about Bronny like that because I think Bronny is facilitating a different conversation, but it's like that for like fans, for like a narrative.
At this point, I think we kept him so that nobody else could get him. That's what I mean. That's what I'm honestly thinking because every time now I could be wrong, now, but like you and I have talked kind of off camera about Bobo. The biggest thing with Bobo is that now he's a very skilled basketball player. He's a very skilled basketball. He's 7'5" and can shoot the three, and he can block shots, and he can he can do all this stuff and can dribble. The thing with Bobo is that he doesn't do the little things very well. He doesn't box out. He does a lot of ball watching, both offensively and defensively. He does a lot of ball watching. And so that means you
gotta have these too. Like I feel like that's like Shaq was talking about how Wemby, we've seen this before. I ain't never seen Bobo play like Wemby.
No.
Never.
Bobo does not play with the same heart.
Not even
like you said.
Not even in the summer league. Like I've never
No. I think that's the biggest thing with him. Like he is immensely talented. But again, you have to do the little things. You can't just go out and score. I mean, the other night he came in the game, immediately hit a three, then hit a mid-range shot. He can score the basketball. Like nobody's saying he's not skilled, but he has to do the little things properly. Like I said, you have to box out. You have to rebound the basketball. You cannot ball watch because that's how backdoor cuts happen. Like that's the thing with Bobo,
especially at 7'5".
cannot happen. You know what I mean? Like at 7'5", that is absolutely unacceptable. And so I think that's the biggest thing with him. And I think if he was more attentive, I think if he played with a little bit more passion and aggressiveness, I think he'd get a lot more playing time. But again, it's the little things. And I think Mason Plumlee does a great job of doing the little things. And you know what? That's the next point I want to get to. So last night, first game of the season and first time since 2016 that Bradley Beal has come off the bench. Now, both Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic came off the bench last night. Now, am I saying that's the reason why we won the game? Absolutely not. There's a lot of other things that had to happen in order for us to win the game, for the reason why we won the game. But I think it had something to do with it. I mean, Bradley Beal had, I think, in my opinion, one of the best games of this season coming off the bench. He had 25 points, and he shot the ball ridiculously efficiently. He had a great game. He got in a rhythm. And he was that juice coming off the bench. I don't know if he would have been able to provide that same juice last night if he were in the starting lineup. So, first question I want to ask is, and there'll be a follow-up to this. But because Bradley Beal played so well last night coming off the bench, he played efficiently. He's playing good defense. He was attacking the rim. He's beating everybody to the basket. Should the Suns continue to bring Bradley Beal off the bench?
Oh, yes, definitely. I feel like they're watching the cast. I said that Beal and Nurkic should be coming off the bench. They need the scoring off of the bench. I think they need more spacing and defense. So Beal doesn't really facilitate the defensive part. He does help out with the spacing, but I think that it would be beneficial for them to have a Dunn or Josh or Kogi, one of those type of players that can play better defense, and then bring him off the bench when D Book is a little tired, just to create some more scoring for them. And also Nurkic, I don't know what it is, but I think he's just thinking score more this season, and they don't need him to think score in the starting lineup. They need Plumlee, somebody who's going to grab the boards, pass it back out, set the screens, the hard body screens too, not the little touch tap picket screens so that they can roll to the basket and make sure that they get the basketball back. No, touch him up, set that hard screen so that he can't chase D Book. Like, yep. There's a difference, and you can hit. Sometimes it's cool now because we're getting certain feedback from some of the players when the cameras, the mic is still on, when they go back to the huddle, and you can hear, Anthony Edwards yelling at Rudy Gobert, "Rudy, do it like this." You know what I'm saying? But I do think like Nurkic is maybe a little into himself this year, and players like Plumlee don't give a shit about none of that. He's like, man, I'm here to do the job and make sure that we win. But yeah, maybe they're watching the cast, man. I think it's good for the Suns. I think it's a good shakeup.
I think here's the biggest thing for me here's the biggest takeaway I took from Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic coming off the bench last night. It wasn't the fact that they were coming off the bench. It was the fact that the pieces who were put in the starting lineup for them provided so much. Ryan Dunn, who started last night, somebody who I've been preaching for from the mountaintop since the season began. He's given everybody fits. He gave Paul George fits last night. He gave him fits last night. He gave him problems. Tyrese Maxey balled out, but there was only so many times that Ryan Dunn was really guarding Tyrese Maxey. But Ryan Dunn gave Paul George fits last night and then came in and hit 4 threes. I'm talking about Ryan Dunn. Came in, hit 4 threes, played lights out defense, getting to the basket, moving the ball, doing the little things. Mason Plumlee, the same thing. There was a play last night. Everybody tells me, "Oh man, you crazy for watching," because I'll be at the gym, right, Tone? And I'm sure you've heard this before too. I'll be at the gym. I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I got to go home and watch the Suns game." I said, they already played." Yeah, I know. I'm about to go watch the whole thing over. And people tell, "Oh, you're crazy." Yeah. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. So last night I come home from the gym and I come back and I watch the whole Suns game. Watch it back. And there's a reason why I watch these entire Suns game, because you won't see these in the highlights. You won't see plays like this in the highlights. The play I'm talking about is a play that KD puts one of the worst passes. And that's another point I'll get to in here in a few minutes. KD is one of the worst passers I've ever seen. Kevin Durant cannot pass the basketball. But again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But KD's inbounding the ball. One of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life. Gives a easy little lazy pass to Mason Plumlee, and Mason Plumlee's trying to go get it, and it gets stolen. Paul George steals it. Mason Plumlee then charges it. Like, he's not even the one that deserved the turnover, but he's getting back. He's racing Paul George. And Paul George is a lot smaller than him, is a lot faster than him. But he's running back, and he knocks the ball out of Paul George's hand. And instead of an easy layup that Paul George got, Mason Plumlee knocked the ball out of his hand. I think that might count as a block. Knocks the ball out of his hand. Ball goes out of bounds. Next play, they get a stop. So instead of letting an easy layup go by, easy layup, easy dunk, 2 points, they end up leaving that possession with giving up 0 points. That's the hustle that you bring. Nurkic is not doing that. Nurkic is not doing that. And again, this is what this basketball team needs. It needs players that's going to go out and do the little things. I don't know if Nurkic is even trying to get to that ball last night. Mason Plumlee is, and Mason Plumlee did. It's all about effort. It's all about doing the little things. Ryan Dunn, same thing. Bradley Beal is not playing the defense on Paul George last night the same way that Ryan Dunn is. It's the little things. And I can understand. Bradley Beal was talking after the game. He was asked, I wish I had the sound, but he was asked, hey, how difficult was it, to come off the bench? It's been, you haven't come off the bench since 2016. And he was like, yeah, it was a little difficult, but, I'm not going to, whatever the coach says, I'm going to do. Now, I can hear, I hear what he's saying, but when I'm looking at his body language, it's not telling me the same thing. These egos need to be left at the door. And again, I'm comparing the Suns to these championship teams because this is what the Suns were supposed to be. This is what they were supposed to be. And so when you look at the OKCs and the Bostons and the Clevelands, these teams leave their ego at the door. They don't bring it with them because egos bring teams down. Tone, you mentioned it. You talk about egos. When I play basketball, now again, I'm not an NBA player. I'm not a college basketball player. But when I play basketball, my ego is left at the door because I want to win basketball games. Whether I'm playing in in high school, whether I'm playing in a rec game, or whether I'm just going to the gym and playing pickup. I want to win the basketball game. So my ego is left at the door. That's what successful teams do. And that's what Ryan Dunn did. That's what Mason Plumlee did yesterday. Those are players that you can win with. I'm not saying Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic aren't, but some things need to change with them in which they can be players that this team can win with.
Yes, I think the coach's job to figure out ways to win, and that's an interesting one. Hopefully, it leads to more success. I don't enjoy the air out here on the West Coast when you guys are losing like this. It just feels differently.
Yeah, you know what? I don't either. I don't enjoy it either. It sucks. But whatever happens with Bradley Beal, listen, there's spurts in which he plays hard. He plays hard a lot more than he doesn't. But I think it's a lot of times it's the body language. It's so many other things that go into Bradley Beal's game that either brings this team down or gives this team a jump start. And I think it's not consistently a jump start. And go ahead.
I was going to say there's a continuity of togetherness in which teams have, groups of people have, honestly, when things work together, when you're enjoying it, when it works together, when it's successful. And there are certain groups or teams that seem to represent that organization, whether it be a corporation, like, like you can see, like, they're representing. Yep. Bradley Beal just doesn't seem like someone, Kevin Durant almost to a certain level doesn't seem it. Like when I see him in interviews and I ask him if he likes it here, he says he loves it here, which is dope. But certain people, they embody, to me, more or less Devin Booker does. When first time I seen Devin Booker, I was like, oh, he definitely likes being in Phoenix.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I just haven't gotten that with Bradley Beal this entire time. I don't see, like, even sometimes I actually seen it this morning. Somebody posted a video of the Suns shoot around, and they're like, hey, you never see Bradley Beal shooting around with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, how would this person even know this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, but then the fact that that's a thing, I'm sorry. It's just, I don't know. Like, you got to be seen with some teammates. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think JB and JT are often, like, all the time shooting around at practice. I know they've done it before. You've seen it in certain clips. But JT got his group of guys on the Celtics, and JB got his core group of guys, and people know that. I just haven't seen anything with Bill. I haven't seen anything. And to me, when you have to, like, when you speaking to it about OKC, there is a continuity amongst teams and a group of people when things are going good. You can see it, and then if things go bad, you can see that they're going to galvanize around one another because of that continuity. There's no link that's gonna fall apart, and they're gonna go, oh, how we get this back together. While they're losing, they're already saying, oh yeah, the next one we gonna kill. And Bradley Bill just don't give me that feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy and sitting in the back of the bus looking at everybody, you know what I'm saying, with his headphones on and tuning everybody out. When you need, especially the leaders, you need those leaders to be on the same page.
And you know what? And you used a very, very, very key term there, Tone, in that last part. Leaders. Yes, I understand there are leaders who lead by example. But this team needs a leader who leads vocally. I'm talking about you down 15 at halftime and you getting in everybody's ass talking about we need to get right. That's what needs to happen. There's nobody like that on this team. There's nobody like that. Now, do I think Jimmy Butler would be that guy? I sure hope he would. But there's no assurance that he's going to be here. There's no confirmation that he's going to be here. So right now, this is what we got. And this is what we need to work with until something else is done. Somebody needs to go in the locker room and be like, hey, we got to get it together. We got to get it together. We want to go win a championship, right? This is what we want to do. This is what we want to do. We got to get it together. There's nobody right now in the locker room that's doing that. And again, I know I keep you know what, to use a phrase that Tony used earlier. I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse by comparing the Suns to these championship teams, but it's because this is what the Suns were supposed to be, a championship team. And so when you look at those championship teams who will be competing for a championship this year, they have guys in the locker room that if something's not going right, they're going to let everybody know. They're going to let everybody know. Accountability. There is zero accountability on this team. Zero. One, because there's nobody holding anybody accountable. And two, nobody wants to hold each other accountable. That's what needs to happen. Like somebody needs to hold these people accountable for either what they're not doing. And I'm not, and listen, that goes both ways. It goes both ways. And when I say that, I mean somebody needs to hold these people accountable for what they're doing wrong, just as much as what they're doing right. Because listen, nobody wants to be told what they're doing wrong. No, let me rephrase that. People who want to be great want to be told what they're doing wrong. People who want to be great want to be told what they're doing wrong so they can fix it. But there's nobody in this locker room that's going to tell anybody what they're doing wrong. That needs to change. That needs to change. Because how are you going to know what you're doing wrong if nobody's going to tell you what you're doing wrong? That needs to change. And just like I said, needs to go both ways. Because if somebody's doing things right, they need to get just as much credit as they would discredit if they're doing it wrong. That's what a leader does. They point out the good just as much as the bad, if not more. That's what a leader does, and there's no leader in this locker room, and it needs to change. It needs to change. But yeah, so so that's you know what, that's our sons, and that's our sons talking. We'll talk, more in the week. We'll talk later in the week. We'll talk more about them, but it needs to change, Tom. Like, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen internally, or if you do go out and get Jimmy Butler, you need to make sure that Jimmy Butler will be able to come in and change this team internally, not only on the basketball court, but in the locker room. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Speaking of Jimmy Butler, speaking of those Miami superstars, there's another superstar in Miami that doesn't necessarily want to be there anymore.
I don't even know, bro. This is my first time. I haven't been in the playoffs, man. So, I mean, for me, like I said, man, I just got to do what's best for me and my family, dog. If that's here or if that's wherever the case may be, man, I'm finna open that door for myself, dog. As I'm opening the door, like I'm out, bro. So it was great playing here, but at the end of the day, bro, I got to do what's best for for my career and what's best. Because I'm too much of a competitor to be, just out there.
Mean you thinking about leaving here?
If it is, hey, yeah.
You know what? So I'm gonna take off on this one real quick. But before you get to saying what you need to say about Tyreek Hill, because listen to me, Tyreek Hill. Listen to me, because you know what? If you see this, listen. If you see this, I hope you do. Stay your ass right there, Miami. Stay there. Because when you were in Kansas City, right after a Super Bowl appearance in 2020, said, nah, you get up out of here. So you went to go to play with Tua Tagovailoa, who you was praising. You were praising. You were cheering from the mountaintops. Oh, you know what? Tua's more accurate than Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes has a bigger arm, but he's more accurate. He throws a better ball. You went to Miami. You left Patrick Mahomes, who in my opinion is the second greatest quarterback to ever play this game of football. You left him to go to Miami to play with Tua Tagovailoa. What in the God's green earth did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? Now you watching from the house, watching your old team go win 2 more Super Bowls without you. When Patrick Mahomes win an MVP without you. And you're expecting to go win Super Bowls with somebody who's injury prone, has a noodle of an arm, who may be accurate, but if you can't throw the ball very far, and Tyreek Hill runs very fast, there's only so much accuracy that you can have throwing a deep ball if you have a noodle for an arm. So now, stay there. Stay there. My dad always told me, you got to live with the decisions you make. You live with the decisions you make. And you got to live with that one, dude. You got to live with that one. You asked out of Kansas City because for whatever reason, whether you wanted to get paid or whatever it was. So you asked out of Kansas City, right? Now, if you hadn't said this, I wouldn't be tripping. If you hadn't led Kansas City because you wanted to get paid, I wouldn't be saying nothing. If you wanted to leave Kansas City because you wanted to go win, I wouldn't have said anything. Now, okay, I might have said something because you all just did win. But you wanted to leave Kansas City to go get paid. You went to Miami, Miami paid you. But now you're upset because y'all not winning. You should have stayed in Kansas City if you want to win. If the money did not mean as much as winning, you should have stayed in Kansas City. Because I know for damn sure Andy Reid and company was going to pay you. And Mark Hunt and all those Kansas City boys over there. They were going to pay you. So you are going to stay there and you live with the decisions you make. Live with those decisions. Like I said, you left Kansas City is you dragging him across the Patrick Mahomes, Tua's this and that. Pat's cool, but Tua's accurate. He throws a better ball. Da, da, da. Man, did that age well. Listen, again, I'm going to say it for a third time. You got to live with the decisions you make. So maybe the next time you decide to make a decision like that, you think about it good and well. You think about it good and well before you make another decision like that. But this one, you got to live with it, dude. You got to live with it.
So if somehow, some way, there was a trade eligible for James Conner for Tyreek Hill, you don't want it?
No.
Ooh, interesting.
I wouldn't. I think Tyreek Hill is going to cost too much money. And for what we're doing in Arizona, I don't want them to do the same thing the Suns did. I don't want them to go out and trade for the suit. Now, unless you were going to trade for something we don't have, like an edge rusher, I have no problem. If the Suns were to go out and get Myles Garrett a month from now, if they were to go out and get Myles Garrett, I would be screaming from the mountaintops because there's our edge rusher. There's our guy for the next 5-6 years. There's our guy that's going to go get 16, 17, 18 sacks a year, and the guy that teams are going to have to double team every night or every game. That's the guy that is going to go out and wreak havoc. Yes, but I believe we already have a guy like that offensively in Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think the connection between him and Kyler Murray is only getting better. You have a strong run game in James Conner, who you did re-sign, and he's coming back for the next few years. You have Trey Benson, who's going to be good behind James Conner as that number 2 back. We're building something here. And again, that's an environment where you leave your egos at the door. Tyreek Hill has the ego the size of Africa. I don't want anything to do with that. Anything to do with that. I think that can and will destroy a locker room, like you're seeing in Miami. No, absolutely not. I don't want anything to do with that here.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got himself into. It'll be interesting. Like you said, who's going to pay him? Yeah, I'm like, is the NFL really about to turn into the NBA?
Man,
players do a season and a half, and they go, I don't want to be here anymore. Send me elsewhere.
I hope not. God, I hope not. It ruins the game, Tone. It ruins the game. It's so bad. It's rough. Yeah, it's all right, real quick, and we'll dive more into this on Friday, but NFL playoffs are this weekend, right? You know what? No, we'll save that for Friday. But,
I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
What do you think about the Patriots winning?
Well, for you, I love it because I that means that most likely the Patriots won't be getting Travis Hunter. So that's fantastic to me. But no, I mean, in that case, I mean, here's the thing. You win, you go out and win, and then you fire Gerard Mayo after. So that part I don't understand. Because I mean, Gerard Mayo, what you give him this roster. I don't think Andy Reid could have succeeded with this roster. I don't think Bill Belichick.
Win.
Huh?
What was the point of him winning that game?
It's the same thing Lovie Smith did a few years ago with the Texans. But here's the thing. They won that game, which means they got the second pick. With that second pick, who they ended up getting? CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
and he's done wonders.
We have the 4th pick though.
To that, I mean, you still have a chance to get, Travis Hunter. And because the first pick, the Tennessee Titans, I think they go quarterback. I don't think they draft a Travis Hunter or something like that. But I think at the 4th pick, you still have a lot of good options. If you did want to go corner, Will Johnson will still be there. Travis Hunter might be there. If you did want to go receiver, Tedero McMillan will definitely still be there. I think you have options. I don't think in terms of the Patriots, I don't think them getting the 4th pick is necessarily a bad thing, because I think the first 2 or 3 picks are going to be quarterbacks. And Travis Hunter might be slid in there somewhere, but Travis Hunter does play both sides of the ball. And so even if Travis Hunter is gone, you still have an elite cornerback to be able to draft and an elite receiver to be able to draft, instead of somebody who thinks he can do both. I don't think he's going to be able to do both in the NFL. I guess it's just not realistic. But you do have the option to go draft an elite player at either or position instead of drafting the guy who's good at both. I think that's the biggest thing. It was kind of how I felt last year. After we lost to Seattle. But if we would have won to Seattle, if we would have beat Seattle, I don't think we would have got Marv Harrison Jr. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. NFL draft time is always a good time. It's always fun. So, and we'll dive more into that, as the time comes, as we get closer to April. But, yeah, real quick, Tom, we'll dive more into it on Friday. But who's NFL playoffs are coming? Who should be the favorites to go win it all? Oh no, you know what? No, I'll save that. Who's the sneaky team you think can make a run?
The sneaky team who can make a run?
The sneaky team. I'll tell you what. I'll go first, and I've been saying this for the past few weeks. And yes, I know they're playing Philly. I know they're playing Philly in Philly, but Green Bay is cold as hell, just as much as Philly is. I'm going Packers. I think the Packers are the most dangerous team in the playoffs. It's because they have an elite quarterback. Now, they just lost one of their best wide receivers in Christian Watson. I'm praying for him. He has a torn ACL. But I think they're sneaky good, man. Their defense can wreak havoc. They can run the ball. They have Jordan Love, obviously, who can throw the ball. They still have weapons. They still have Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed, and I really like Dontavian Wicks. I think they can make a run. Now, if I was a betting man, would I bet them to beat Philly? No, absolutely not. I'm smarter than that. But I think if they do beat Philly, watch out. Watch out.
Yeah, I guess my sleeper team. This one's tough.
Yeah.
My sleeper team might be those guys who won the other night. Tampa Bay.
Okay.
And that's because I don't think that they can. So I'm like, I think there's some tough. Besides them, would probably be Washington. But yeah, I think Baker's Baker, man. He can make some stuff happen. He can shake it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm a sleeper team. Yeah, I don't think Houston can get it done. Even though they got your boy CJ, I don't trust Pittsburgh. I like Baltimore now that they finally got here where they are. Should be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Playoffs.
It's time. It's time. Playoff wildcard weekend is this weekend. I'm very much looking forward to it. But I tell you what, Tampa Bay is a good one because Tampa Bay is definitely a sneaky good team. I believe in Todd Bowles. I love Todd Bowles. I think he's a fantastic head coach. He's won the NFC South the last 4 years. That's even after Tom Brady left. So I mean, I've loved what Todd Bowles have been able to do. And Baker can make some plays. Baker can make some plays when he absolutely has to, and he showed that all year. I mean, you still have Mike Evans, who can go make a play. Kate Otten, their tight end, I like a lot. Their offensive line is strong. They may have the second best running back duo in the NFL in Bucky Irving and Rashad White, so they can absolutely run the ball. That team can be sneaky good. Then they can make a run, and so that'll be a team to be looking forward to. I believe they're playing Washington, so that'll be a good game. They're playing in Tampa Bay, but yeah, so that'll be definitely a good game to watch. But yeah, Tampa Bay I think can definitely make a run if they're playing at their very best. So, but that's gonna close out today's show. Oh man, first show of the New Year. So how you feeling? 2025, first show of the New Year, and I do want to say for everybody who has watched and has been watching, and I think if I, of course, I'll let Tone speak too, but I think I can speak for both of us. See, there you go. I think I speak for both of us when we say we're very grateful for everybody who has watched and has been watching, and for the new people who are going to watch this coming year, because like I said, I think there's big things coming for us, and we're gonna go out, we're gonna make things happen. So, see, there you go. See, you know what? New Year, same you. New Year, same.
Big things coming for us is crazy.
But there you go. See, I want nobody thinking like that except for you.
Hey man, I'm from that Cam run era, man. Certain things you gotta be clear about.
You know what, Cameron? I think he been up with. Yeah, we'll see.
Shout out to my guy. I got him. Shout out to the Celtics. It's a dope addition. I never seen this before. We got you a nice little coloring book.
Hold on. What's that?
Make sure when you come over to the studio, you bring your crayons. You know what I'm saying? Look at that, Sammy.
Hold on. What is that? Hold on, real quick.
Yo, where you going? Yo. Look, it's not done. Yeah, Drew. Hold on. Look at that one. Yo, nah. Nope. Can't go.
Hey, that's what that's what I gotta say to you. That's what I gotta say to you.
With the Finals MVP right there. There he goes.
You want me to bring it back?
Finals MVP. Hold on. There's a rookie. You got the rook right there for you.
Oh, you talking about Jason Tatum? Finals MVP?
This man got my last name.
Oh, see, there you go.
This man got my last name. That's dope as hell. Hold on. Then you got the OG triple. My bad. Then you got that guy.
See, there you go. The Finals MVP or what?
This year, he gonna get Big Al, right? You talking about Big
Al? Nah. I'm talking about that zero guy.
Oh yeah, he could get one. We won't be mad. But Big Al, I got money. My money's on Big Al for Finals MVP this year. Kristaps. Yo, this is a dope. You know what I'm saying? Then you do your numbers. Oh, you see him at the back end. PP, your man on the back end. PP. You know what I'm saying?
See, there you go.
Celtics.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. This is I guess kind of breaking news, and this is something I'll make sure we get into on Friday. Recently, this is today. This is a segment on First Take where Brian Windhorst is saying the Suns are absolutely trying to trade Bradley Beal and benching him so that he waives his no trade clause. So that is some developing news that's coming out here recently. So
probably be a good spot for him to go to is Miami when you think about it.
I think so. I think it'll give him more freedom.
Well, yeah, more freedom because you only have to be, second to Tyler Hero. They really like the Miami. They're gonna know that they're not getting a championship this year, so to really just be, hey, y'all perform so that we can create value and get y'all up out of here.
Exactly. And I think Miami, they don't need to restart, but they need to restart in terms of building around Hero and.
They got to restart. That's not enough. Tyler Hero. I would maybe keep Bam because if you think about it, Bam's the top 4 center in the NBA.
I agree.
I don't know how to just mix that up and not keep a top 4 center who can guard all 5 positions. But I don't think Tyler can stay. Tyler's not a perimeter defender. Yes, he can give you 25 points, but in this day and age, you need perimeter defenders at the 1 and possibly 2. Tyler's not a big enough 2.
He might have to go. I think I'm with you. He might have to go.
I'm just like, if you want to entertain, he can stay. You want to win a championship, you got to go.
Yeah. No. And we'll get into some more of that, and plus some, maybe some NBA All-Star predictions too. So that's coming up. But as always, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all for watching. Big things are heading our way. Big things are heading our way. And as always, don't forget, you are amazing, you are beautiful, and you matter. If nobody else is going to tell you, I'm going to tell you I love you, and I'm proud of you. And always remember, it's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. We'll see y'all Friday. Love y'all.
And I'm all small.
Deuces.